has lifted more than 400 million people out of poverty. Poverty is falling in countries housing 80% of the world's population. The 50 countries where the Earth's poorest people live are basket cases that need urgent attention. In the other 142, which include China, India, Brazil, Russia, Indonesia, Turkey, Kenya, and South Africa, the poor are slowly being absorbed into productive and growing economies. For the first time ever, we are witnessing genuinely global growth. This is creating an international system in which countries in all parts of the world are no longer objects or observers, but players in their own right. It is the birth of a truly global order. A related aspect of this new era is the diffusion of power from states to other actors. The rest that is rising includes many non-state actors. Groups and individuals have been empowered. Hierarchy, centralization, and control are being undermined. Functions that were once controlled by governments are now shared with international bodies like the World Trade Organization and the European Union. Non-governmental groups are mushrooming every day on every issue in every country. Corporations and capital are moving from place to place, finding the best location in which to do business, rewarding some governments while punishing others. Terrorists like Al-Qaeda, drug cartels, insurgents, and militias of all kinds are finding space to operate within the nooks and crannies of the international system. Power is shifting away from nation-states, up, down, and sideways. In such an atmosphere, the traditional applications of national power, both economic and military, have become less effective. The emerging international system is likely to be quite different from those that have preceded it. 100 years ago, there was a multipolar order run by a collection of European governments, with constantly shifting alliances, rivalries, miscalculations, and wars. Then came the bipolar duopoly of the Cold War, more stable in many ways, but with the superpowers reacting and overreacting to each other's every move. Since 1991, we've lived under an American imperium, a unique unipolar world in which the open global economy has expanded and accelerated dramatically. This expansion is now driving the next change in the nature of the international order. At the political military level, we remain in a single superpower world. But in every other dimension, industrial, financial, educational, social, cultural, the distribution of power is shifting, moving away from American dominance. That does not mean we are entering an anti-American world, but we are moving into a post-American world, one defined and directed from many places and by many people. What kinds of opportunities and challenges do these changes present? What do they portend for the United States and its dominant position? What will this new era look like in terms of war and peace, economics and business, ideas and culture? In short, what will it mean to live in a post-American world? Chapter 2. The cup runneth over. Imagine that it is January 2000, and you ask a fortune teller to predict the course of the global economy over the next several years. Let's say that you give him some clues to help him gaze into his crystal ball. The United States will be hit by the worst terrorist attack in history, you explain, and will respond by launching 2 wars, one of which will go badly awry and keep Iraq, the country with the world's 3rd largest oil reserves, in chaos for years. Iran will gain strength in the Middle East and move to acquire a nuclear capability. North Korea will go further, becoming the world's 8th declared nuclear power. Russia will turn hostile and imperious in its dealings with its neighbors and the West. In Latin America, Hugo Chavez of Venezuela will launch the most spirited anti-Western campaign in a generation, winning many allies and fans. Israel and Hezbollah will fight a war in southern Lebanon, destabilizing Beirut's fragile government, drawing in Iran and Syria, and rattling the Israelis. Gaza will become a failed state, ruled by Hamas, and peace talks between Israel and the Palestinians will go nowhere. Given these events, you say to the sage,